have made a show. Mom and
Yeah, I got tired riding your mama.
Top 10 differences between Sean Bullitt and the Hindenburg.
Bad lay.
One was actually a very interesting news story, and the other couldn't give an interesting news story to save his ass.
Yeah, that's close. That's close.
That's kind of close. That's in the, what would you do with that?
We did one. Here was one we did. The one we did was no one fell asleep hearing news on the Hindenburg. Top 10 differences between Sean Bullitt and the Hindenburg.
When the Hindenburg flew, it didn't choke.
No. Hello, top 10 differences between Sean Bullitt and the Hindenburg.
They're both the greatest news disasters in radio history.
Don't like it, but clever. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes.
The Hindenburg's mother wasn't a whore.
No.
Hey, your mom wouldn't take my money, you piece of garbage.
Hello, good morning.
That's why.
Morning, buddy.
Yeah, what's up, man? What do you got?
This is the Thunder.
Hey, Thunder, top 10 differences between Sean Bullitt and the Hindenburg.
There's no differences. They're both big fat flamers.
All right, Thunder.
No
difference.
buddy. Don't ask me for any favors, you piece of garbage.
Hello, good morning. Top 10 differences between Sean Bullitt and the Hindenburg.
Women actually rode the Hindenburg.
That's very similar to the one we had. We had one that said women actually waited in line to go down on the Hindenburg.
Women rode.
Yeah, women actually waited in line to one was women actually went down on the Hindenburg, and the other one was women actually waited in line to ride the Hindenburg. That's pretty good. All right, hello, good morning.
Yeah, you think you can come up with something original except for stealing Letterman's top 10 list.
Yeah, Letterman always does top 10 lists about Sean Bullitt, you douchebag.
Yeah.
I still say his mom's a whore.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Say it to my
sir.
face, bitch.
All right, top 10 differences.
Hey, your mom's
Top 10 differences between the Hindenburg and Sean Bullitt.
Really suits the toothless
Yeah, when
guys,
the
too.
Hindenburg career was over, it went away.
Once again?
When the Hindenburg career was over, it went away.
Number one. All right, top 10 differences between Sean Bullitt and the Hindenburg.
Well, the Hindenburg was a big fat bag of hot air that could support itself.
You can't even say anything about that.
Are we done yet? At least that piece of garbage didn't say anything about my mother.
Top 10 differences between Sean Bullitt and the Hindenburg.
Everyone cares about the Hindenburg, but no one cares about Sean.
That's true in this town.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
What's the top 10 differences between Sean Bullitt and the Hindenburg?
Only a few men have been in the Hindenburg.
Oh,
Yeah, whatever. You know what?
That
Makes you happy. I
I'm
think
not
this is
putting
like
that
some
top 10
listeners trying to
differences
act out
between
their
Sean
gay
Bullitt
fantasies
and
in
the
there.
Hindenburg.
The Hindenburg was just a big wreck in history. Sean Bullitt's just a big wreck and gay.
Hello,
You
good
know, I
morning.
mean, these guys want to be with me. What's the sickness there? I mean, you know, keep your gay ass fantasies to yourself.
All right, hello, good morning. Top 10 differences between Sean
I'm sure my voice is seducing you.
Sean Bullitt and the Hindenburg. We need one more. We need one more good one, right, John?
Yeah, one more good
Top
one.
10 differences between Sean Bullitt and the Hindenburg.
I got one.
All right, buddy.
Hey, people actually care about the Hindenburg.
That's pretty good. Hello, good morning. Top 10 differences between Sean Bullitt and the Hindenburg.
The mothership was not a whore.
Yeah,
Top
you're
10
funny,
differences
bitch.
between Sean Bullitt and the
You're
Hindenburg.
real effing funny. That's gotta die.
Go ahead.
Really gotta die.
Yeah, Ray. The Hindenburg doesn't try to cheat on diets and eat food in front of everybody else.
Top 10 differences between Sean Bullitt and the Hindenburg.
Yeah, the Hindenburg never had a car repossessed.
Yeah. There you go.
I miss that one, unfortunately.
Hindenburg has better credit.
Oh, great.
We're gonna take all your calls and we're gonna put together a definitive list. The top 10 differences between Sean Bullitt and the Hindenburg.
All right.
I think you do. I'm a gay superstar. I'm a gay superstar. Come on. I think you do. I'm a gay superstar. I'm a gay superstar. Get up. We want to grab him, touch him, lick him, and see how they are.
Jumping out of bed at 5 in the morning, turning on the radio, scratching my balls and drinking my coffee, taking in the morning disaster show. Now Ray is the master of the disaster. He knows just what to say. He's big, he's large, and he's in charge. Picking out jam and start your day. Mobile unit headed on a mission, streaking and freaking and rude and crude, flipping up the streets and taking no prisoners, jumping in the face with a funky attitude.
Very low class back then.
Red light up,
Come on.
morning disaster.
Get up.
Red light up,
Come on.
morning disaster.
I'm Bodine. I'm with GLC, the radio station. Get the mic. Get the mic. Get the mic.
The mobile unit's rolling into your neighborhood today. To make some noise, to raise some hell, to the cops all along the way. Small town touring, burning up the region, everybody feels the flow. Bands online and the CD signing, waiting for the morning disaster show. Morning disaster is part of your complete and balanced breakfast. It contains 100% recommended daily allowance of vitamins and minerals. Yeah.
Every lady's fantasy. The hot Carl. Every lady's fantasy.
Come on.
Yes, hello, ma'am. I was wondering if you could tell me I have a chimpanzee and he will not come down. He has been up for the past 2 or 3 days.
You know, if he wasn't drinking, he's doing something with crack pipe.
Get up.
Bend over here, son. Come here, boy. Come back here.
Take it from me, gay porn superstar Peter Rodman.
Red light up,
Call it out.
red light up,
Come on.
red light up,
Call it out.
morning disaster.
Yes, not let him do that.
That's right. My granny fever smells like me.
Oh, boy. Well, there we go.
Thank you for waking me up.
Wake up! Hey, good morning. It is Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster. How you doing? I am Ray. Along with me is Nick
Good morning.
and Nikki. And Nikki. She's back. I think she's back. It says she's back. However, I don't hear her. Did she fall asleep?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I hear muffled noise. How are
What is
you?
that all about?
How are you, Nikki?
I'm hanging in there.
Heavens. That sounded very COVID-y. That cough sounded very COVID-y.
It's COPD.
Oh. It's like talking to Trump.
Yeah.
It sounded very COVID-y, very ratchy, very.
Yeah.
Did you drive around waving at people?
Yeah.
No, I'm sick.
By the way, were you the least bit surprised when he did that?
No.
Yeah, I was like, no. Any jackass.
It's like I gotta please my fans.
I was more surprised it took that long.
Yeah, if anybody's gonna go out there while sick, by the way, he was sick when he's doing it. and he's infecting all the Secret Service. Could you imagine working for him? Well, yeah, he's gonna get in a car with you, and you're gonna drive, so he can wave to people. Imagine the guys working for him are going, "What? He's gonna what?" Yeah, so he can wave to a bunch of hillbillies that are out there holding flags. Oh my God. Oh well. By the way, if you guys are looking at Cam, you can see my big red. They're already talking about it in the chat room. My big red bulbous nose. And by the way, I took a shower before I went to bed last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I washed my hair.
I can tell.
So there's no, I don't have any. I usually wake up and I put product in my hair.
You've got the hair of somebody that fell asleep with it wet.
Yeah, and that's what happened. I fell asleep with wet hair.
Especially the back part.
Yeah, it's a mess. I mean, it's just a mess. So I'm looking at myself on camera and I'm like, oh my God, look at this mess. So I'm going to try to put some water or something in my hair so it doesn't, so it looks somewhat good.
There's not enough water that'll fix it.
I think you're right. Niagara Falls would, if I dip my head under Niagara Falls, it would not work. It's so messed up. My hair is so messed up. I'm so messed up today. I'm a mess.
What's up?
It's insane, I tell you.
What's with the nose?
I don't know. I got whatever the hell I've been having. It hit me again this weekend.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm finally going to see a dermatologist tomorrow, though. So
good.
They'll tell me what's wrong with it, hopefully. And give me here's like my doctor. I had a doctor who was perfect. And then she took some promotion or something. So she can no longer be my doctor,
The one that was your doctor friend?
Yes, yeah. She was doctor. She's a really good friend of mine, But I feel if I keep bothering her with shit then she wouldn't be my friend anymore,
Right. You need to find a new doctor.
But my friend, she gave me a prescription for this one stuff, and now my hair's gonna look gray again because I put the water in it. So, but I don't care. I just wanted to look less the way it did. So she gave me this one thing for it that I took daily, and it cleared up my face. Well, then the prescription ran out. Okay. So then the pharmacy, it ran out like a couple months ago. Well, the pharmacy tried to get a prescription of it because she's promoted. She's not a everyday doctor anymore. So she doesn't have an office. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not going to call her directly or try to do any of that stuff because, like I said, I wanted to continue to be my friend. But ever since I stopped taking the medicine that she gave me, it came back, and now it's come back with a vengeance. So you guys can probably see.
So you need a refill of that medication.
Yes. So it's a big friggin' mess. So there you go. But I don't want to call her because I don't want her to not be my friend. And I use empathy, and I put myself in her shoes. I mean, Nick, if you were a doctor and a friend of yours is always calling you to, hey, get me this or get me that, you would stop being that.
Yes.
I would stop being their friend.
Everyone gets some advice every now and then, and like maybe throw them a bone.
Yes.
But if it's going to be consistent,
I'm saving it for big.
You're gonna have to start paying me or something else.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going through now. So I've got this freaking whatever. But my nose is all. I look like I'm W.C. Fields. If I don't know, that's probably a dated reference, but it's all yeah, it's a mess. So I that's why my nose looks so red. So forgive me, but at least it was a good topic for our chat room today.
Yeah.
Oh well.
That and your frozen camera.
Is my camera frozen? My camera's fine.
Not
isn't
right
it?
now.
Yeah, my camera's fine.
Is it back? Is it working again?
Yeah, my camera's fine. Nikki.
Well, it still shows frozen on my phone.
Nikki,
Ray.
why are you watching the phone?
For the chat room.
You are really something. You really think you're something.
Like you're not watching the chat room?
No, I'm no.
Then how did you know you were already talking about your note?
Because I
Do
have
you have the phones on?
I have my Zoom is up.
Oh.
So that's what I watch. I watch.
Well, I don't have Zoom. I have this.
I have the live feed of Zoom and I see that. Or else I'm looking at the audio and I see you and Nick are in there.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go, Nikki.
So there you go. Quit bitching.
Nikki. Shut up, Nikki.
Whatever.
Always yapping. I'm just glad you're here.
Well, then why are you complaining already?
I thought for sure we were going to get a Nikki. I thought it was going to be a Nikki.
Oh, you almost did. I was
Nikki
up
Bale.
late last night doing my nebulizer.
I knew it. I knew we were going to get a Nikki blow off show.
It's not a
Nikki big time.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get big time by Nikki. She's something else.
I'm diseased.
Freaking Nikki. Well, but she is here. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. By the way, Fat 420 is in the chat room saying he's been watching every second of the show. It's never been frozen. Nikki's full of shit. Thank you, Fat 420. I knew it. I knew Nikki was full of it. Thank you. Finally, someone who speaks the truth to me.
We can go kick rocks.
By the way, today's show brought to you by our friends at Recontex. A proof is in a performance. Recontex. Head west, sub stop. That's right, head west. So many locations all over town. And the best lunch you're going to get. Head west on West Jefferson. Head west on Robbins Road on the west side. Head west on Denver Drive on the northeast side. Head west on South 6th Street Road, just down from Curve In. And head west in Jacksonville. Head west in Decatur. No matter where you are, Head West is nearby, giving you a great lunch with that delicious, sweet French bread and those fantastic meats. And
Your Head West.
Yeah.
Expand out to Champagne.
Yes, yes. Nick wants you guys.
I am
to come to
jonesing for a
Champagne.
barbecue chicken sandwich.
Yeah, I you know what I've been having lately? I've been having the turkey and ham, the combo with I hate to say it, but no, I get a little
Provolone.
I get provolone, yeah, but I asked for a little extra mayo.
Mm-hmm. You can get light mayo.
I know I could. I should get no mayo. That's what I should get. But I say, hey, throw a little bit of throw a little bit extra mayo on. I won't tell anybody. And they take care of me. Yeah, that's what I've been getting lately. I gotta stop though. My eating
Creamy fat.
My eating's getting bad again.
No.
Yeah. And it's my birthday month, so I was wanting to
splurge.
No, I was wanting to way less this birthday than last and all that stuff, Oh well, fucking pandemic and
It's 2020.
Pandemic and my own weakness.
It's just a cluster.
Yeah, it's a mess. Oh well. Yeah, that's what I got going on. But no, I turned the phones on, so they're on. They're on when needed. I hear Doran has joined us. Hello, Doran.
Good morning.
Are you driving?
I am driving. I'm going to do the hairs.
Yeah. At least
Going down to Carlinville today to my salon down there. So
at least you're not looking at my hair.
I already have looked at your hair, and what is going on with that? Are you seriously going to try to grow that out still?
No, here's what happened. I took
oh my God.
I took a shower right before bed, okay? And then I now I've got a little water in it, so it looks a little better, but then I fell asleep, all right, with wet hair. And then I woke up and By the way, I'm doing what you told me to just. I said, how do I get my hair looking like this? I said, well, just grow it out, and then when it gets long enough, we'll cut it to the way it grows. Because you said the way it grows or something is fucked up or screwed up. So I just thought I'd let it grow.
Yeah, but there's some maintenance involved as
I know,
you're growing it out.
You said that you'll.
But yeah, going to bed with wet hair is never a good idea. Never a good idea.
I know. So usually, I woke, and then I woke up. Literally, I woke up, peed, and then jumped on the air, and I didn't have time to do my hair or anything. So, I got a little water next to. I'm trying to put a little water in it. To where it doesn't
wet that wild animal down a little bit, would you? Good grief.
I know it looks bad. I know it looks bad. I'm trying. Oh well. Yeah.
Oh. Did everybody have a good weekend?
No.
Anybody do anything fun?
No.
Or... No.
I had a horrible weekend. My face is inflamed. Like I said, I don't know what's wrong with it.
Any idea what's causing that?
I have no idea. I don't know something. I used to get medicine for it, and now I ran out of the medicine and I can't get it refilled.
Oh my God! It looks like you have some sort of contact dermatitis. It could be from wearing the mask.
No, I've had it. I've had it since 2019. It's when I started working out. It's when I started working out and I got it. And then my doctor gave me pills for it, and the pills were controlling it. And then, like I said, she got a promotion. And so now I don't want to bother her for medical stuff because, then she won't be my friend.
I understand.
She won't be my friend anymore because I know how, if I was a doctor and someone was constantly asking me to do stuff, I would not be their friend anymore. I'd be like, I got to get this person out of my life. So I don't want to be like that. So
don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. So now my face is all inflamed. And I don't know what's going on. And it seems to work the more I work out, the worse it gets.
Well, I'm sure with masks isn't helping.
Well, but one thing now is the mask hides it. So I put the mask on.
So the mask is helping that.
Yeah, the mask actually hides it. So I don't complain about the mask. I wear my mask the entire workout.
Mm-hmm.
I never take that mask off. Number one, because dirty people that aren't wearing masks. I just know it. And by the way, I don't get the people who flaunt, they're not wearing their mask, and God damn it, why you got to make me so uncomfortable? You're not wearing a mask. Fine. Go stand over there. Why you got to come stand? Don't come stand next to me without your mask. God damn it.
Go to a White House event.
Yes. I mean, am I the only one? Don't you guys get freaked out though? If someone comes wearing no mask, they come stand right next to you and try to talk to you?
Yeah, that's rude. It's rude.
Oh, I just move.
You see, here's the deal. I'll be on some kind of stationary equipment at the health club, and somebody with no mask will come up and talk to me. I'll be like, God damn it. Go away from me. Most of the people at Fit Club are wearing masks, but occasionally you get, some wild savage who's not wearing a mask, and they feel like they can come up and talk to you, and it's like, oh God damn it, they're the last thing in the world I want. Somebody without a mask talking to me.
I tell you what, though, with the garage sales and everything down in my neck of the woods over the weekend, a majority, and I will say a majority of the people that were yard sailing were wearing masks. They were all wearing masks.
Did you have a successful yard sale?
Oh, it was fine. It was okay. It's one of those where you think you're going to sell certain things and you sell like your great Aunt Jessie's hot pink, fuchsia, and green, Afghan for like $2. I mean, it was just a weird ass sale.
Yard sales are weird.
I got rid of a lot of CDs, clothes, household. I mean, just a hodgepodge. I was really surprised that a lot of my sports stuff that he has outgrown didn't sell, but you know, a lot of people aren't playing sports right now.
Well, then
so
you also need
that's
someone who has a
understandable.
kid that's your kid's size. You know,
Right.
so unless they have a kid that's also the size of your kid, it's hard to sell all that stuff.
True.
Yeah.
This is true. But yeah, no, it was fine. Yeah, it was it was fine. It was cold. It was very cold. But anyway, done and over with until next year. Thank God. A lot of work.
Do you feel like you have to participate in the community yard sale?
Kind of. Yeah. I kind of
Do they like threaten you if you don't?
No, not
It's the neighborly thing to do, if you know what I mean.
I don't
right.
participate.
Neighbor.
I don't participate in community anything. There's nothing.
No, you do not.
There's nothing for the community that I can't blow off. I don't have to do any community yard sale. Are you out of your mind?
Well, it feels good to get rid of stuff, you know. And I also have a rule too: if it doesn't sell, it does not go back in the house.
I just get mine.
So now I have half a garage full of crap.
Here's what I do. I find $300. I find $300 worth of shit every year that I give to Goodwill. That's what I do. I just find $300 worth of shit that I don't use anymore, and I give it to Goodwill.
All right, I have a lot of things electronics that need to be recycled. I need to take care of that.
I believe that's the amount. By the way, I believe that's the amount that is taxable. Is $300 is shit to Goodwill. Does anybody know that?
Yeah.
Does anybody know if that's the amount? I want to say it's 300 is the amount where they.
I think it's higher than that.
I think it's higher.
I think it's
Oh,
higher.
well, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's like 6.
Maybe it's
I think
time
it's
I
like
find
6.
more. Maybe I should find more then.
Find more shit.
I just
Get
want
away.
to. I want to give my shit away and not get audited. That's what I want to do. Yep,
That's everyone's goal.
That's the goal in life.
Goal.
Oh well, I see Rocky has joined us. How you doing, Rocky?
Great. How are you doing?
We're finding out about Doran's community yard sale.
Yeah. Anybody having any records in there? Let me know.
Yeah, Rocky likes old
Actually,
vinyl.
Yeah, actually, the boyfriend's mom has some records. She has some vinyl that I said you are not selling those. So
You wouldn't let her sell them? What did she have? What was she trying to sell?
one of them was a Beatles collection.
She had a classic.
Like a box set. Yeah.
She had a
Yeah, the
classic
original.
Beatles collection.
Oh, the black one?
I don't know. I told her don't even bring them because she was reading them off to me, and I'm like, how many of them do you have? She goes, oh, a bunch. And then she had a box set of them. Yeah, they were the originals. And I said, yeah, leave those at your house. We're gonna get on eBay. I'm like, do not bring those to a yard.
Hey, I'll tell you, my mom.
Yeah, let me know what they are.
My mom gave me her old Beatles collection years ago. She gave them to me, and they were in this holder from the 1960s, and she gave them to me, and it actually we held on to them until it was during one of my phases of unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
There was one phase where I enjoyed not working, and so I just sold a Silver Age Fantastic Four comic book every couple of weeks, and then I just sold a Beatles album every couple of weeks until, you know what I mean, until I was ready to go back to work again. And that stuff covered. I mean, that's
the hell Beatles album was this that let you go for 2 weeks without working?
Oh, I had a version of Help that was or she, I mean, I guess technically I had it. She had an original Beatles. I want to say it was Help. It was the one with the babies. It was the one with the babies. No, it wasn't that. It was there was a bunch of dead babies. There was Rocky, there was a bunch of dead babies on it. Which one had the dead babies on it?
That's the Butcher Sleep for yesterday and today.
I had one with a bunch of dead babies on it, and that one sold. That was worth a lot of money.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Yeah, and so it actually covered us for like a couple of weeks. And it was
that's like a couple thousand. That's like a $3,000 one. That's really the only one though. That's why I asked.
I don't think I sold it for that much, but it was a lot. I want
Well,
to.
it depends on the condition
I
too.
want to say it was in the thousand. I want to say it was over $1,000 that I sold it for, though. We did good. Don't tell my mom though, because I don't think she has. I don't know if she has any idea that.
She might be a little disappointed.
Yeah, there you go. You got Rocky's got it. Shit, look at that. Look at the condition that one's in. Holy shit. He's gonna be selling that. See,
Can you imagine a Beatles album coming out with that cover? That's crazy. No wonder they recalled it like the day it came out.
I'll tell you something. You laugh now. Just wait.
Oh no, I totally know. I mean, that's like a safety. That's like a safety blanket.
I had Amazing
Security blanket.
I had Amazing Spider-Man like 4 through 200, and Fantastic Four. Number, like, I didn't have number 1. I had like 4 or 5 all the way up to 200, and then I had Daredevil. I had Daredevil 1 through like 50. And I sold those, like I said, bi-weekly. I would sell a comic or a record, and that kept us going for a while. And it paid
Kept
for
you
things.
afloat.
Yeah. Thanks God.
Wow.
Thank God for eBay.
I had a friend of mine who moved cross country a couple of years ago, and he gave my son his entire comic book collection from like when he was a child, from in like the late 70s to the 80s. And I have not gone through and sorted them or anything yet. They're just all in those, non-acetone, slips, and they're all in big filing boxes. My mom was like, "Are you gonna sell these out?" No, I'm not. No, I'm not selling those.
I'm telling you, selling.
Maybe when I find out I can't afford college tuition, maybe that will help a little. But no,
Selling my old comic collection kept me afloat for. It probably kept us afloat for half a year. I mean, just selling it. But some of those books were worth quite a bit of money. Rocky's holding up Misfits album.
These are worth thousands. So that's a nice little nest egg.
Yeah. It's just to hang on to them, because at some point, why are the Misfits worth so much?
Because they only became popular really after they were done.
I'll be damned. Yeah, now a lot of those bands are dying off. Like members are dying, and
that's what I'm thinking. As soon as Glenn Danzig was the Misfits guy, as soon as he passes, those are going to skyrocket.
Look at that.
We're all just kind of waiting around.
That's terrible. Oh my God.
So you're saying what
he'll be with Satan? He'll be fine.
Yes, he'll be happy there.
I imagine he would be welcomed into hell very warmly. I mean, he's promoted Satan in hell for years. I mean,
plus he pissed on Jim the photographer's notebook.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah. So
also some like gaming sets. Like my boyfriend had some old Dungeons and Dragons, and then also there was a gaming set that was kind of based on the same ideas like Dungeons and Dragons, and you get your characters and different things like that, but it was all Marvel characters.
Look at that.
And we looked that one up, and that was worth quite a bit.
Did he try to sell it to yard sale or anything? Or?
Oh God, no. I had to like do research on a lot of these things. I'm like, nope, that stays home. That stays home. That's an eBay sell.
That's why garage sales are horrible now. I mean, I'm sure the garage sale coming up will be wonderful, but garage sales aren't like they used to be, because everybody is, putting the stuff. They're going to eBay. They're not putting that stuff out for 25 cents anymore. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah, it's not like
you've got to research it.
It's not like it's not like the 90s where you'd stumble.
Now it's become a flea market.
Yeah, you'd stumble upon someone accidentally selling comic books from the 1960s and not realizing what they're worth. Now everybody knows.
Somebody's mom, and they've been under the bed, and the kid went off to war, and you're like, yeah, that's cool. Give me them comic books.
Yep.
Oh, you can. Here's the best rummage. They don't ever say this at rummage sales anymore. Oh, you can have the whole box for. Remember that?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh, you can have the whole box for $20. Oh, I was gonna pay $20 for the one, but okay, I'll take the whole box for $20.
Let me get rid of this shit for you. And then you go home and you
Yeah,
start
20
looking and you
years
go, holy
ago.
shit, look at that. It's got this in it and this in
20
it.
years ago, I sold all of my vinyl. I was like having one of my purging moments, and I literally drug everything out in my front yard and sold it. Like, we're talking the TV console.
Good Lord.
I don't like that chair. Let's put that outside. And one thing that I did kick myself for is my box of vinyl. I had the original Thriller album. I had the, oh my gosh, the AC/DC with the Eye Black, when they had that Eyes Blacked Out, all those original ones. And I don't know if they're worth anything, but I still like to listen to them. But
well, I know that, I mean,
piece.
obviously Rocky knows more than I do, but the stuff like the Michael Jackson Thriller album, I mean, that was, so many people bought it when it was, you know, when it was released. That's probably not worth too much, but it's that weird
No,
stuff.
you'd have to have it autographed or sealed would be, you know, like still sealed with the original.
The weird stuff is stuff that didn't sell that much is worth a lot because they only made so many of them, right? I mean, am I wrong?
Oh yeah, and then, well, it's different too now than it was collecting in the 90s. I mean, like stuff like from the late 80s that most people would have had on CD, that's what a lot of people want now too, like Def Leppard Hysteria, Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction. Most people at that point were buying cassettes or CDs, and they weren't buying records anymore.
Oh, wow.
So those records are worth a lot, like later Iron Maiden albums and things like that. Slayer.
I used to like Peter Gabriel So.
Yeah, no. Funkadelic. old funk albums, Funkadelic and Parliament and stuff like that.
What was the other one? What was the other one I liked? Who was the guy who did Back in the High Life Again?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
Steve
literally a video this guy does about the 10 least expensive or worthless albums, and that Steve Winwood Roll With It album is one of them.
Oh, I don't have that Roll With
So
It.
that's like a $5. That's a $1 bin.
I've got the Back in the High Life again, or Back in the High Life one.
Yeah, that's like $1. It's weird. Some things just don't, for whatever reason.
In fact,
and then other things are huge.
In fact, I had a stereo system in around 1990, and when I was going on a lot of dates, you know, in between the girl I lived with, and then when I met Dee, there's that time, that time frame, that floating time frame that I was on a roll. And I would I'd get to know women, invite them back to my house, and then I would slip on Peter Gabriel's Soul. And I had the routine down. Doran,
How did you ever get laid?
I did. I knew exactly. In fact,
Are you kidding me? What do you think that song Sledgehammer's about?
That whole album is set up, at least for me.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what I had to be doing whenever song was playing, if I was going to match it all up properly. Red rain is falling down. I knew exactly at what point I better have that bra off. I knew exactly when I better have them, naked.
Well, rain, wet. It's wet time. Got to get wet, in the rain. Got to get wet in the rain first.
What was that, Nick?
What was the song you played when you wanted them out of the house?
Well, I knew I better start. I better be entered before,
Oh God.
Yeah. If I want to last the whole song.
Oh my God.
Because I'm serious. I would put on that Peter Gabriel Soul album. That was my pick to click.
So let me get this straight. So you would put on the album.
Yeah.
And there was like a time frame.
I knew the whole album
song.
song.
I got to get her to this point.
Yeah.
By the end of this song.
I got to get her fired up.
To, as you say so eloquently, enter by this point.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
To get them out though, you don't have a song. This album ends like with 3 really quiet songs, and then if you have it on record, that's when you just let it go. And then you just look at it like
it's over.
Yeah.
Record's over.
Time's up. Time's up. Right's over.
Yeah.
Oh, while you're up, can you get that tone arm? Take that off there.
You don't want to be in the middle of something.
On your way to the door, can you get that record player? Take that off there, please.
No, but I had 3 albums that were my go-to.
Make sure to put the lid down. I don't want to get anything dusty.
I had Peter Gabriel So. I had that Steve Winwood Back in the High Life Again. It was called something else. It's called Welcome to the High Life or something. I can't remember.
No, it's called Back in the High Life.
Oh, and then I had Jackson Brown. This was one of the best ones. It was Jackson Brown. It was the one that had Missing Persons and a Hold On. Hold on, hold out. Da-da-da-da.
Yeah, it's called Hold On, Hold Out.
Is that the name of the album? Is that the album? Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yes. Yeah, that's the album. That was the best
It's got
album.
Boulevard on it.
Yeah, but I didn't play the side with Boulevard on it. I was the other side. It's got a bunch of slow songs on it.
There's Thriller.
Look at that. Rocky's pulled all his albums up.
Oh my God. Here we go.
You got him going now. Yeah, I would.
Well, and one that I'm really regretting is that Nina. You remember
Rare
the song
cover.
99 Red Balloon?
99. Na, na, na.
Yeah, I had like one English song on it, and that was it. The rest of it was German, but I loved it. I had no clue what they were saying, but yeah, it was fun. It had a good beat.
You were
know?
singing along. It could have been praising Hitler for all you know. You were just singing along.
Yeah.
With it.
He's like,
down with the Americans. I hope they all go to hell. Yeah. Doran was just clapping her hands.
Well,
just
they
laughing.
are singing about nuclear war. They start a nuclear war by releasing a bunch of balloons, and the military thinks it's an attack. That's what the song's about.
Oh, I had no idea that that's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So does everybody die at the end? Is that what it slows down?
Probably.
Yeah, they're the only two left.
Everybody's dead.
I think. Or maybe not everybody's dead, but that's what the song's about.
99.
Wow. And they make it sound so happy.
Yeah.
Like a little skippy. Yeah.
I would sing along. I would be dancing and singing to it. All I knew was the word 99. 99. Da, 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 da,
Well, they're not saying 99. They're saying 99.
I don't know.
I took German because of that song.
Really? That song?
Remember there was a time when German was really huge, and it was right when I was going into junior high. You had that song, you had Falco, Rock Me Amadeus.
Yeah.
Peter Gabriel did that album before the one you were talking about. He did it all in German, redid it in German. They were talking about that. I was just been into the Beatles. They had songs in German on their albums that they sang, like I Want to Hold Your Hand in German.
Yeah.
Scorpions were huge. So I thought, man, I'm going to take German instead of Spanish because Germany's obviously where it's going. I mean, you know how many Spanish songs on the radio? La Bamba would be remade like a little bit later.
You're right.
Menudo was already doing English songs anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I took German based on what was happening in pop radio in 1985.
I like the fact that you
never used it.
I like the fact that you took German
for like 5 years.
Because you used it on the Morning Disaster. We did a lot of German characters that you would do.
Right.
I mean,
but that's why it had nothing. I didn't know anything about Germany or what. It was because, wow, I want to be able to understand these songs. And then, of course, what happened is I take the German, and then there's no more. Germany goes away until like what?
German songs.
99 or something. Rammstein.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes.
20 years later, 15 years later.
I spoke when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I spoke Spanish. That was my first language. Because my mom was working, and my grandparents, I stayed with them. So I learned Spanish, first.
From them cussing you guys out?
No, they were talking to each other. From them talking to each other, because my grandparents spoke Spanish to each other. They only spoke English when their children were around, But when they had the babies over, of course they were just speaking Spanish. So I learned Spanish first. And so when I got to high school, I'm like, oh shit, I'll just take Spanish. It'll be, I like that album. That's fantastic.
That's how I learned about
so
my Latin.
I figured, what the hell? Let's take Spanish again. I said, I'll ace the Spanish easy, no problem. And
right.
Yeah. And my pronunciation,
I got kicked out of Spanish.
My pronunciation of Spanish was fantastic. But I didn't know the Spanish they were teaching in school. It didn't make sense to me because, as it turns out, there's a difference between Mexican Spanish.
Like grandma Spanish.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
There's a difference between that and the kind of the Spanish that they teach in high school is, I mean, that's that shit from Spain. I mean, that's proper Spanish. By the time the Mexicans get hold of it, it gets all mangled.
It would be like growing up in Alabama and they're trying to teach you how the British talk.
Yeah.
You know.
So I got a D. I ended up with.
That's what I ended up with in Spanish.
I got a D. I mean, I took several years of it, but I'm serious. One of the semesters I got a D in Spanish, and I remember
oh my God, that's funny.
My teacher, her name was Mrs. Ramey. The teacher. At one time, she even goes to me. She goes, "How in the hell did you get a D?" She goes, "I thought you spoke Spanish." I said, "I do." She goes, "How did you get a D?" And I said, "I don't know. I can't conjugate this. I can't conjugate."
It's the same way people get D's in English when they speak English. Or F's.
True. It's a good way to look at it.
But I could read. My pronunciation was perfect, and my reading of Spanish was perfect. Like if she wanted something read, she'd say, "Ray, read to the class," and I would read it. But I had no idea what I was saying. Now my daughter's pretty good speaking it. She's got it down pretty well. And my cousin Buddha speaks it fluently. But for some reason, I forgot everything. That's because I moved down here is what happened. When I was young, I moved away from Chicago when I was 5 years old. And so I moved away from Spanish, you know. There wasn't anybody speaking.
It's like anything else.
Yeah.
Don't use it, you lose it.
And I lost it. Mm-hmm. There's a whole bunch of stuff. If I don't use, I'm gonna lose.
I hear that.
Oh well. Yeah. By the way, show also brought to us by our friends over at Hendricks Home Furnishing. Hendricks Home Furnishing down in Verdon. You guys, it's so worth the short drive to Verdon. When you want some furniture and you want a great shopping experience, do yourself a favor. Go to Hendricks. You will not be disappointed. They will take care of you. Fast delivery. Great customer service. It is Hendricks Home Furnishing in Verdon, your furniture store. Trust me, guys. I have tried. We looked for so long, my wife and I, and we had so many bad shopping experiences going around Springfield. It was when we drove to Verdon that we finally had the experience we were looking for. So I highly recommend Hendricks. Simply CBD, our friend Simply CBD, they'll give you that CBD oil and balm. They have it on just off of Wabash, south of Wabash, on the corner of Wabash and MacArthur, and at Sangamon Center North, their new location on Sangamon Center North. Plus, Core Installation, 741-1079. Core Installation has your PPE, all of your pandemic supplies, your masks, your gloves, your sanitizer, your sanitizing wipes. They've got all that stuff at Core Installation. And DTE Technologies, DTE 408-0001. DTE, let Rob become your IT guy for your company, and let him save you money right now. Show you how he can change your phone lines over and save you a bunch of money. It's DTE Technologies, 408-0001. So anybody, Rocky, did you do anything this weekend?
No, like I said, my weekends are always the same. We ordered food and have it delivered by DoorDash. That was the big event. We started watching that Boys in the Band remake on Netflix.
Is it any good?
I don't know. I'd rather see the original.
There's a lot of good gay sex in it. Is there?
No, it's a play. It's based on a play,
Oh.
so they're just walking around talking. The dialogue's a little dated, and I think it's better to see, the 1970 one where everybody really is in 1970, and you're kind of like, wow, people actually talk like that back then. Than to see like current people just redoing the lines.
So they talk like they're in the 70s, but
and
they're not.
I don't know if Terry's listening or not, but he should turn it down for like just 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Turn it down.
Turn it down for a second, Terry.
Yes. I can't stand that Jim Parsons guy.
You don't like Jim Parsons?
No, and it's nothing against him personally. I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm sure he's incredible, done a lot for whatever, causes and gay, LBGT, or whatever. But as far as watching him on something, he's just the same person all the time, and he's not funny and monotone, and I don't like him at all.
I thought he was great in. I watched that. There was that show on Netflix, that one about Hollywood. And he played the agent. He was an agent to young stars. And he would have his whole thing was his whole thing was he would get these young guys with no talent. And if they let him blow them, he would then create them. He would turn them into stars. It was really something. But his character was skeevy and he was just
I bet I would like that a lot more.
Yeah,
the thing is, I don't
creep.
find him funny, I guess is the thing.
No,
I don't
he
think
was
funny.
sleazy. He was sleazy and he was a creep. And I'm telling you, by the way, Terry is in the chat room.
But yes, magnificent. I will definitely check that out.
Spelling out.
I've heard. I can't wait.
But you should watch that one, dude. That one's great because
I will watch that. Anything with Jim Parsons, I'm there.
His character.
20 seconds are up.
His character is such a heel. Is so evil.
Well, that might be better. I guess that's really the thing is I just don't find him funny. I find him when he tries to do the lines in the play, all I can think of is, wow, the original guy did that so much better. He's just, I don't know what it is. I just don't like him.
He's really good in that. I can't remember the name of it. It was a Netflix show, and it was about old Hollywood. I highly recommend it. But if you watch it, he's great because he plays this. His story arc is interesting. Where he starts and where he ends is two different places, and but he does some really creepy stuff in the middle. It's something with Hollywood. But if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it.
I really like Andy Griffith as like a mean villainous son of a bitch. Have you ever seen one of those like TV movies where he's like a villain and he's incredible and you never, anybody that's ever seen like somebody like Andy Griffith or Jim Parsons or somebody like, that's always playing the nice guy or
when they play the bad guy, it's always interesting.
Yeah. Some people can pull it off, some can't, but I remember Andy Griffith did particularly well.
Because because whatever you're watching and it's Andy Griffith, you think, oh, he's going to be a good guy, and then it ends up at the end of the episode where he's the rapist or something. You realize it's been a really good episode because I wasn't expecting Andy Griffith to be raping people or to be a racist or anything.
Yeah,
I know what you're getting at. By the way,
he's got one movie where he's running around in the mountains like with a shotgun or something, chasing his own son around trying to kill him.
Yeah, wasn't he on like a three-way or something?
Oh, I don't know.
Or there was a movie in the late 70s, right, or early 80s. Some TV.
The Dennis Weaver one where he's just being tracked down by some truck. Duel.
Oh, Duel. Yeah, that was that Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I watched a Spielberg Zemeckis movie from the 70s, Used Cars, with Kurt Russell.
Actually, that's 1980.
But you talk about a movie that is just stupidly fun, and everybody forgot it, but it's a good movie. It's called Used Cars. I watched
Kurt Russell's the main.
But you want to know what else I did? I looked for Disorderlies. And I found
what's this? It's free on Vudu nonsense. It's $2.99. I never got money like that.
I went and looked. The
movie's only 88 minutes long.
It was Jason who said it was free. I went and looked on Vudu. It wasn't free.
No.
And I wasn't paying $2 for that fucking movie.
$2.99. That's where they get you with that 99. $2.99. $3.
Bullshit. So I still haven't seen Disorderlies. Disorderlies.
Yeah, I've got a search thing that searches a lot of the big platforms all at once.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all $3.99, $2.99. Oh, and I think the $2.99 is standard. $3.99 for HD. So it's really $3.99 because I'm not some savage that sits around watching standard definition.
You're saying that did they even make Disorderlies in high definition?
Yeah, it's a film. It was in theaters.
I'll be damned. Wow. By the way, happy birthday to Mikey. I see that people are reminding me it's Mikey's birthday. Yeah, October 5th. Mikey used to have every year he would always start the month of October with a big he'd light a big fire.
Bless you.
He'd light a big fire in his backyard, and everybody would drink beer outside and catch colds. Happy birthday to Mikey. That's all I'm remembering. All I remember is every year Jimmy would go to that freaking campfire, and it'd be colder than he would think. And then he'd wake up Monday morning and go,
right.
I feel like shit, Ray. I feel bad. Because I went to Mikey's party and it was colder than I thought it was going to be. Which reminds me, what was the temperature last night?
32.
32 goddamn degrees.
Yeah, his birthday is always on the same day in October, right? So
Yeah.
you'd think somebody would eventually learn, yeah, it's going to be a little nippy
Yeah, it's like
during Mikey's
and I remember having the
birthday
conversation with Jim.
bonfires.
I said, hey, remember last year, Jim, you got sick because you went to that bonfire. He went to that bonfire and he ended up, hanging out outside and got sick. And then he'd go again. And then he'd get sick that year. And he'd always be, I can't believe it's so cold at night. And I got sick again. Every year I had to put up with that. But happy birthday, Mikey. And Sean Balint is and Sean's in the chat room now, and he's talking about how one year at Mikey's birthday party, he made out with some chick. And
And then the chick had a broom handle or something, or mop handle or whatever that was.
I remember he once told a story about some girl who was masturbating with a Big Chief pencil. Do you remember that
The
story?
what?
There was a story of a girl that Sean was telling. Some girl there was a Big Chief pencil.
That's not. Yeah, that's dangerous. That's lead.
Well, but she wasn't using the sharp end of it. Who was somehow.
She was probably trying to erase the experience that just.
No, she wasn't. She wasn't with him. She wasn't with him. He knew a girl who was somehow nubbing with a Big Chief pencil eraser. Was somehow erasing her own eraser. And he was telling the story once about some girl defiling a Big Chief pencil. But I don't think that wasn't a Mikey's party. It was just I remember that story came up.
Just a random fact you remembered.
I just remember that. For some reason, I equated to Sean because he told me the story. But he walked in on a girl. He was so at a party or some kind of gathering. He walked in on some girl who was pleasuring herself with a Big Chief pencil.
Suddenly he pulls out one of them little golf scorekeeping pencils. And she's like, Big Chief.
That's hysterical. Yeah. But I do remember Sean hooking up with some girl at Mikey's party. And he blew that. Or the girl was drunk or something, and then he tried to talk to her again later, and she wanted nothing to do with it. It was some kind of, it ended embarrassingly. Poor Shawnee.
By the way, I have no idea what a Big Chief pencil is, but that just sounds hilarious.
Big Chief was a brand of school supplies. They had Big Chief notebooks, Big Chief,
Oh, I don't remember that. I remember Mead, and then the Stuart Hall, and then the ones with no names is the one we had. But I don't remember Big Chief.
The Big Chief was a super thick pencil, and on the end it had a big eraser. And it was. I'm gonna look up and see I doubt.
I think Nick just put it in the.
I put it in the chat.
Oh, you did? So you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Big Chief was a whole brand of.
Oh, it doesn't even look real. It looks. Was it plastic?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell it's made of.
It doesn't look real. It doesn't look like a real pencil. It looks, like a plastic thing. And that eraser doesn't look real either.
It's an extra thick. It's an extra thick pencil.
Well, I got that.
And an extra thick eraser at the end. That's what it looks like. Big Chief. There you go. And Sean walked in on some girl pleasuring herself with a Big Chief pencil. I've never walked in on anybody pleasuring themselves.
Well, if you're going to walk in on somebody pleasuring themselves with a number 2,
yeah,
you better hope it's a pencil. There, I went to your level.
That's pretty funny.
Are those number 2 pencils?
What are you pleasuring yourself with? Is that a number 2? Oh, that's disgusting. That's great. No, but I've never walked in on a female pleasuring themselves. I think
me neither. With anything ever.
I don't know how I would handle that. I think I'd be like, do you want any help? I think I would probably I would have probably answered in some kind of smart ass way. I would think. I mean, Nikki sounds like she's doing it now, but
I do not.
As they walking in on it, I've never walked in on anyone.
Yeah, because there's nothing bigger than a pencil, I mean, you can't really equate that, you can't say something like, well, I got a crayon for you, or I got a pen for you. I mean, they're, with that Big Chief pencil, it's like, that's.
You're not going to top it.
Yeah, unless you got one of them 4-color pens or something like that.
Yeah. And I don't think I've ever had it. I don't think anybody's ever walked in on me, pleasuring myself. Thank God. I've never gone through any of that. So
with a pencil?
No, I've never gone through. Oh, but I do know a story about a guy using a pencil.
Yeah, doing art?
No, did I tell you this story about this is how I got my job over at WYMG?
Oh my goodness.
Did I ever tell this story before? Have you heard it? Does any of it sound familiar to you?
Vaguely. I remember there's some sort of perverted.
Yes. I think you have heard it, Rocky, because Jim loved this story and he would tell everybody. But the reason I got hired at YMG is they had a guy who was doing weekend overnights, because weekend overnights is bottom of the barrel starting radio job. When you're the lowest person on the totem pole, you were the guy doing weekend overnights. At least, back when I started.
Yeah.
And the guy that was doing it before me was a guy who was fired because one night an album was skipping. And they were afraid that something happened to the guy. So they called this guy in Jacksonville named Jerry Simon, who ran the building. He owned WLDS, or he ran WLDS because WYMG first, Saga Communications came to town. They bought WLDS because they had an FM license. And then Saga put the FM license on as WYMG. So they basically owned WLDS just as, and also ran because they bought it just so they can get WYMG. But this guy named Jerry Simons ran WLDS. And so he was the guy that when anything was wrong with the building, they would call him. And he lived in Jacksonville. And everybody who worked at YMG lived in Springfield. Well, they didn't want to drive over at 3:30 in the morning. So they called Jerry Simon. They had him go in. Now, Jerry was also some kind of officer in the Guard. So he wakes up and he goes into the radio station to try to find why this album is skipping. And all I know is I don't know the album, but I know it was Lynyrd Skynyrd. I was told that. And so he shows up at the radio station and he walks down the hallway to YMG and he sees there's nobody in the YMG studio. So then he walks down the hall and there was the WLDS the WLDS had a room, a visitor's room. It was like a round table with a bunch of different mics where you could have like 8 people on the air at once. And it also had a TV. And so he walks down the hall and he sees that TV is on. He could see through the glass window that for some reason that television's on. And as he gets closer, he sees pornography is on that TV. And he opens the door and finds the overnight guy masturbating with pornography on the TV in the WLDS, whatever they called that studio.
Right.
And the guy also had Jerry Simons walked in and yelled at him to get the hell out of here, whatever. And the guy immediately jumped up. And that's when Jerry Simons noticed the guy had a pencil up his ass.
Oh my God.
I have no idea. All I know is
there's another number 2 joke there somewhere, I'm sure.
All I know is that
a number 2 and the 2.
When Jerry like get the hell out of here, he was so angry that the pencil was in his ass, still in his ass. When the guy was trying to put up his pants, the pencil was still in his ass.
Gross. Somebody might have chewed on that the next day.
I don't know. I don't know where he got the pencil from. You're right. I don't know. But I would definitely, if I was coming in the next day and I heard that story, I would definitely not use any of the pens or pencils in that room.
No kidding.
No.
Oh my God, that's so.
You got to bring your own pen anyway. I started doing that a few years ago. It can really change your life at work. If you bring your own pen, you get you got to get like 3 though, because one will always get lost or stolen. That'll just piss you off. So you got to get like 3 really nice pens. Find ones that you really, really like that just write well the way you like and feel the way you like, and just bring your own pens in. And yeah, it could just make your day happier if you ever have to do writing at work or whatever. Nice pen will change things.
Or yeah, I mean, if
you don't want to just grab that stupid,
yeah,
paper mate pen that's laying there, but you got to do this.
You never know.
Your own pen, boom, boom, boom.
You never know whose ass has been in.
Right, and that's it.
There was somebody we worked with. There was somebody we worked with back in the day that pissed off Jimmy, and I remember he took their pen and put it up his ass, and I can't remember who.
What?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
There was somebody when we were in the old studio. This would have been old studio, like around 96, 97. There was somebody that pissed off Jimmy. So he took their pen and he put it up his ass.
I just remember all the stuff he used to do to your stuff when you would piss him off, but I don't remember him doing like a pen.
I definitely, that's why, listen, I always watched because I saw him do it to other people. So there was no doubt in my mind that my pen had been up Jim's ass. No doubt in my mind at all.
Remember the listener donuts sent to the competitor?
Oh, yes.
With the picture at the bottom? We had nothing to do with that.
It was not Jim's dick.
No, it was a listener. It was several listeners, is what I've heard. I never saw it. It was not sent to us. It was sent to a competitor.
A DBR.
As if we had a competitor.
Yeah. I had Rick Blade.
Yeah, somebody sent a box of donuts.
I had Rick Blade.
And they were the kind with the hole in them.
I had Rick Blade and ate 3 donuts.
Yeah, so I guess they ate all the donuts and got to the bottom of the box where there was and it was a Polaroid, or it was 2 Polaroids of like 3 of the guys that sent the donuts with like the donuts on their dicks.
Were on their dicks. By the way, I wondered, were you guys standing next to each other when you took pictures of donuts on your dick? That was kind of, it seems like it was a whole process for them.
No, you just.
But they did pull it off. I'll give them credit.
Yeah, I don't remember how I heard about that. I think it was somebody from there that got pissed off or something.
Yeah, I'll tell you what it was. It was Rick Blade. Eventually, Rick Blade got fired from DBR, and he came to work for us over at Midwest Family.
Okay.
And it
Okay,
was
that makes
Blade.
sense.
Blade told the story. And the whole
Yeah.
and when he was telling it, it was one of the funniest things because he tells the story and he goes, and everybody we're cracking up. And he goes, well, it's not funny. He goes, I had 3 fucking donuts.
Right.
It was one of the funniest. I mean, it was just so funny the way he told the story because he threw in, he goes, I had 3 donuts. I mean, it was, I distinctly remember the whole story.
Yeah.
But that's who told us it was Blade. And
Wouldn't you keep that to yourself?
Yeah.
That's my thing. How we found out, it's like somebody from there had to, either that or the people that did it.
No, but that's Rick Blade's sense of humor, and he was very self-deprecating.
Yeah.
I don't dislike him. I like Rick Blade, but part of it is because of that, sense of humor that would allow him to admit he ate 3 of those donuts. But that was when he was doing that morning show with Max. Which, by the way, I don't dislike Max. I like Max. Okay.
I will admit, I never actually heard it. I never heard them except for the one day where you were going off on them, and I was listening to see what they were saying because they were talking and they had stopped playing music completely.
Oh,
and that's literally the only day that I ever. Because I guess I could have recorded them and listened to them later or something, but I just didn't.
That was what we
wasn't
said.
really that interested in hearing
Mikey
competitors
and
or whatever.
Jim and Bodine, all those guys went down there and they started petitioning, and they had the signs and. After
Oh wow, that was a wild day.
Yeah. Their general manager called ours begging for us to stop.
That would be I don't know if you'd want to put that on Patreon or not. Dish all those old bad memories
if I can
up.
find that, yeah. But I mean, I like Max McCartney and I like Rick Blade now.
Oh, you don't have to find it. I know exactly. I mean, I have that.
Oh, you have it?
I have the whole show and edit. Organized by date and easy to find.
Maybe you should maybe we should play that. Maybe we'll do that this Friday. Yeah, there was but I know Max and I've gone to lunch with him a few times, and one of the first times that we got together, he apologized for everything. But
I don't think I've actually ever met him.
He's really you actually like Max. He's very nice.
And if it hadn't been for Rick Blade working with us for a while in the building, I probably would never have really met him either.
Yeah. No, I like both those guys now, but at the time, listen, at the time I was out of my head I had one goal. And here's my thing was everybody who was on my team were my guys and everybody else was my enemy. I mean, that's pretty correct, isn't it? The way I'm describing that? Like if you were on my team, you were one of the good guys. Everybody else was bad. It didn't matter. You were either with us or against us. We had one goal, and that goal was to win 12 plus. And the only reason we did that is because they told me that I was never going to win it. And once they said, you'll never, ever win, I just want to put it out of your mind now. You'll never win 12 plus. I was like, fuck you. I'm going to win 12 plus.
And how did that feel?
When I won 12 plus, it felt pretty good.
I did something similar here. I was given a ridiculous bonus structure based on ratings because the ratings in that time slot had been so bad. And my ratings at night were incredible, but they didn't take into account that I could take and then, that was just night people listening because they like your night, whatever. Like, okay, whatever. So they built this structure that if I was in third place, I would get so much. It was typical. Second place, I would get so much. And then first place, I would get some stupid amount. And I remember the guy that set it for a reason they did that or whatever. I don't remember what the reason was. But it's like, yeah, because, that's not going to happen with the ratings, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to be number one. So blah, 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 blah. I was number one for like 3 months in a row. And it was just like raking. That's what I'm living on now is the money from all those bonuses and all that stuff. When they set up that ridiculous thing thinking that nobody could get it. And then that's basically my nest egg right now.
Those are the best. Those are the best radio stories.
But yeah, other than the money, I mean,
told,
that just I love being underestimated, but it does get old. It does. You start to realize one point, you know, when everything you do, people are surprised how well you did it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, wait a goddamn minute. I
Yeah,
mean,
you start to think, when
do
the
you
hell are you
get to
gonna
a
stop
point
being
where you're
surprised?
no longer surprised that I have some sort of talent? You know,
Like, why
it
did
starts to get insulting when you actually start to when it happens over and over again.
Why did you guys hire me? You know, why are you so shocked at my successes? Isn't that part of the reason that you hired me?
I mean, once or twice, okay, but it's like, wow, we didn't know you could do that when you got on stage. You seem so quiet at work all the time. Well,
Sean,
because when you're on stage, you act like you're on stage. When you're not, you don't. Well, unless you're at the Ray Lytle thing and you just started in radio and you're me and you're wandering around on stage like you have no idea what you're doing. There's that. But after you've done it for 20 years, I mean, yeah, any job somebody's going to be somewhat proficient at.
Well, it's just amazing to me how they the same thing they did to me when they say, well, you're never going to win 12 plus. So put that fantasy out of your mind right now. It's like, well, you've got to know that from the second you say that, that's the goal. The goal is not going to be anything less than winning 12 plus. And then the only thing is after I won 12 plus, or we won 12 plus, it's like, what the hell's the next goal? That was part of the problem with the Morning Disaster. We won 12 plus by 90.
Well, the next goal is to network. And then when you try to do that, you run into the same old like criticisms. It's like, wait a minute, I just won 12 plus.
And then
why are you still treating me like, oh, well, can't network that show because woo, it's too wild and you know, it only serves this niche. It's like, no, it just won 12 plus, but okay, whatever.
And you're right. You're right. That was the goal. It's like after we won 12 plus, the next goal was to syndicate, and we did it. But I do remember a point in the Morning Disaster where we had achieved everything like beyond what anyone thought we were going to do. And it was just like, okay, there's nothing left to achieve now. There's nothing left to do except to plummet. So I quit before we ever had a chance for that to happen. And now I'll be honest with you. I'll be completely honest. Part of the thrill of doing this show is when I was fired from WMAY, there were people I know that said, you know, he just needs to go away. And then when I started this show, they said nobody's gonna watch him on. Nobody's gonna watch a show on the internet. And that sort of became oh, well, now you shouldn't have said that. Now I've, you know, now.
Yeah, plenty of people are watching plenty of shows on the internet. I mean, that's pretty much.
Now we're doing a show every single day and thousands of people are watching every episode.
And you get drawn into like different, you know, if you start listening to a lot of podcasts, you start finding other podcasts.
Yes.
You know, that you want to listen to. And then more and more, it's exponential. And then suddenly you find you're not listening to anything but podcast, you know, or, you know, videos on YouTube. You start watching, and then you get in these, like, you know, people that you like or whatever, or follow,
That's
you know,
all I do
subscribe to. Yeah, you just watch YouTube videos,
like,
or TikTok videos.
I watch a lot of
videos
TikTok.
don't really take as long though. They're pretty.
I watch a lot
quick.
of TikTok. I watch a lot of Nick Talk videos. Hi, I'm America's sweetheart, Nick Talk.
You love it.
I do. I enjoy his videos. But I tell you, part of the reason that I am so fascinated by this show is I know that people said, oh, this is going to be an embarrassing, you know. Let me just say, this show is brought to you by Recon Techs, Head West Substop, Hendricks Home Furnishing, Simply CBD, Core Installation, DT Technologies, and our new sponsor, Two Men and a Truck. That's right. 2 Men and a Truck, 866-0864. If you're moving, whether it's your home or offices, whatever, and you need help moving, call 2 Men and a Truck and get your move on with 2 Men and a Truck. Find some of our sponsors here on the Morning Disaster.
Hey, how come old boy over there on Facebook's got 5 sponsors, and we're over here on air every morning, and you're talking, you can't sell us because of COVID. Like, ain't no COVID on Facebook. What's going on? Just imagine. I don't know what these people sound like. I just imagine that conversation happening somewhere.
I'm telling you, it's like I see Corey in the chat room says, I drive all day. All I do is listen to podcasts. Says, I gave up on radio. Ray was the last show I would listen to. I haven't listened to FM radio or AM radio since. Way to go.
Because you got to get the personality back into radio, even if it's a music show, even if it's a music station that plays a lot of music. In between those songs, you got to have something that connects, people are connecting with, or they're just going to get that music somewhere else, or they're just going to find another thing that connects them, like podcasts, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook.
And the radio industry, as soon as there's any fear in the radio industry, the first thing they continually do is fire the highest paid people.
Well, they don't know about the highest paid people because they don't fire a lot of salespeople.
But
you don't see a lot of VPs getting fired. They fire the on-air people.
The on-air people
hiring salespeople.
Yeah, they're always hiring. There is no cap.
Salespeople pulling up in the Jaguars.
There's no cap. There's no cap on how much money they'll pay a salesperson. But I'm just saying, good luck selling a product when there's nobody to sell it. Good luck.
If it was a shoe business and you don't have any shoes, you're not going to have a business. It's a show business, and if you don't have a show, you're not going to have any business. And there's no show anymore, so it's like I can hear Pat Benatar anywhere.
Well, it's like if you owned a shoe store and you started cutting off people's feet. I mean, there's the decision the radio made. I'm telling you. And radio could be a lot more. I mean, I've been told, you guys, I'm serious. I have either been told or heard of people, of so-called radio professionals, saying about this show, it's never going to take off. It's going to be a horrible embarrassment. It's about time. Maybe this will be the thing that drives Ray Lytle away. I've heard all that shit. I heard he's never going to get a sponsor. No one will ever sponsor that show. I've heard that. All I could say is, we have sponsors. We have listeners. I'm still around. I'm sorry if you don't like me. One day.
You know what? I'm not sorry. That's what you follow that up with.
They can just go kick rocks.
Yeah, go kick rocks. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm sorry. It's because, listen, I mean, I don't want to give the secret away, but here it is. It's because I give a shit about who listens. I care. I don't give a shit about the process. Oh, here's the other thing I heard. Is the cussing. The swearing will turn people off. Really? Does the occasional swear words we use turn you guys off? Fuck no. I see.
I'm turned on right now.
I see our listeners use them. They use swear words in the chat room all the time. And we talk like they do.
Well, it depends on how they're used too. There's people that can overuse them if they're on like a satellite show or whatever, and they finally have their freedom. And it's like 9-year-olds when the parents are away. Every fourth word is fuck, and it's like even when they don't even belong, it's like, yeah, just talk like normal people. Talk like uncensored type. Isn't that why the FCC kind of lightened up a little bit on the rules for that? Because they saw everybody kind of go into podcasts and uncensored type formats.
The thing now is that the company that owns Sirius is buying, they're trying to buy the majority share of iHeartRadio. And they're also lobbying Congress, and they're lobbying the Trump administration to ease off the indecency rules, which I'm telling you, I don't know if that's going to happen because they're pretty religious. You know what I mean? There is a religious right to this administration. And
cares about profanity and stuff like that.
Yeah, there is. I mean, look at this education. It's gotten into everything. there's sort of I don't think that Trump is particularly religious, but I think there's an understanding of, as long as you let me know what, as long as you let me do what I want to do, I'll be fine with giving you guys a few victories.
I don't think profanity is a part of that. I think you're talking more about different laws or religion
Well,
or
I'm
whatever
just saying that
come into play.
I know that,
like religious power laws. Everybody's over profanity, like you said. It's an archaic thing, and yeah,
but
I don't see a Trump. Or, can you see Trump going out against profanity? That's
no. Here's what I see though is his administration. He's not the FCC chairman. He appoints them, and the hope for them is that Biden wins, and they'll lay off of it. And this is why the company that owns Sirius, they're the ones that are wanting to buy iHeartRadio, and iHeartRadio is the #1 radio company in the world. They have the most stations.
And now they've got a lot of podcasts going on too.
Yes. And so if you want to promote your podcast and stuff, and you want to put it on the radio so many days, and if you get the FCC to lay off of the language restrictions, then you can make a shitload of money. Because
I don't think there's going to be a problem. I don't see a big opposition to it. I think it's going to pass.
I think especially if Biden wins. You're going to see.
Oh, I think either one. I don't think there's going to be a big push against it. I think the religious stuff is completely different areas of which I'm not going to get into, but it's doesn't have anything to do with profanity or something on the radio. If they're going to survive, they're going to have to either rethink their laws or something. And there's a big difference between profanity and content. The bizarre rules that you can't have a cooking show and say something tastes like, oh, I don't like that because that tastes like shit. Now, you wouldn't be able to say that on the radio if you had a cooking show, but you can have another type of show where you can go on about people sticking pencils in their ass and masturbating and masturbating with Hitachis and putting masturbatory devices and with remote control by Bluetooth. We can talk about all that just as long as we don't say the word shit. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that a change is coming and they know it. And if you're the company that owns, Sirius Satellite is the one that they have Stern, but they have a bunch of other shows too that they have had successful, podcast type shows. I'm just saying that's what they want to do. I don't know if it's going to happen.
Well, and a show on Sirius too is different because a podcast, you're always tuning in from the beginning. So you're always hearing everything. A radio, you could tune in the very middle of a thing and you can't go back. So it's like that's another way that the pre-recorded or the on-demand stuff is a little more enticing.
I think that the big advantage radio has over other forms is radio is easily accessible in your car. It doesn't matter what year your car is.
Yes, it does. I talked about this last year and 2 years ago. Absolutely.
But
and I even thought
example,
it was. I hope somebody's not going to call me a conspiracy theorist.
If you buy a new car,
radios are way in the back. FM and AM radio, that's way in the back now. Yeah. You've got some cars you got to go through a menu and all this other. It's easier to play your Apple Music or your Bluetooth.
If you buy a new car, yes, you have access to this show. I know people who drive to work every day and listen to this show on the apps.
It's easier to listen to this show on some cars than it is to listen to FM radio.
But I'm saying if you're driving like a 2005 whatever.
Cars from sure.
If you're driving a 2006 Sebring, it's easier to hear the radio than it is to
as time goes on, there's going to be fewer and fewer of those cars, not more and more.
I agree.
Or it's not going to level off. Those cars are going away. And so, you can't rely on, and that's what kind of has been the problem with a lot of the decision-making in this industry, I think, is as a radio, instead of being out on the forefront and being a part of the changes, we're always reacting to change. And we're always doing it way too late, especially for an industry that can just go on the air, flip on a microphone and have at it. You have to set up cameras, lighting. You don't have to do any of that. You flip on a microphone, done.
I know that the lobbying.
So radio's big thing is they could be, if they still had the personalities on the radio, they could be a promotion for the podcasts and all of that. But
where you take
those people have all been let go.
You take little
and now
clips,
they're all making their money on YouTube.
You take little clips of the shows you want people to hear and you put them on You'd base shows around it on regular radio. And I know that they have been trying to lobby Congress and lobby administrations to lessen the indecency stuff. Since you got to remember, all this stuff happened in 2004. That's when all these new rules came in and fining people obscene amounts of money.
And why was that done?
Because of a stupid television thing.
No, why was it done though? Not the excuse. It was done because that was when satellite radio was being ushered in.
Yeah.
And they were trying to make everybody move over to this exciting new uncensored format.
Probably are right,
so we're going to put the clamp down on broadcast radio even more, so they're even more restricted, and give the excuse, we're clamping down on radio because somebody showed a titty during a football game on TV.
Yeah.
It made no sense, but it doesn't have to.
But I'm serious. They petitioned the Obama administration, and Obama gave them the right to say shit on television. You look at now, they designated different ways that you can label your television network programming. PG-14.
Well, because
MA
Obama
or
wasn't a
whatever.
businessman. That's the thing about, he didn't do a lot of stuff because of, a corporate, unless it was kind of mandated beyond his control.
The whole thing is
It's something that he had to sign. It was usually not done but that whole that was all satellite radio. It was all to get people to go to satellite radio.
They lost Obama, and they just assumed it was going to be Hillary Clinton, and they're like, oh, well, we'll lobby Clinton and get it passed. But then Trump happened, and Trump he's kissing the religious rights ass. He's not going to lessen it. And I'm telling you, so their hope is that Biden's going to come in, and you're going to get Biden to lessen it and allow them to designate by putting ratings on FM radio stations. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm saying that's the plan. And the plan is so that they can bring some shows with some more adult language on the radio.
And if that proves to be a profitable business model, that's all that's going to matter. It's not bottom line, money talks, bullshit walks. Are we going to be able to make some money off this? And I think they will. I think that people are wanting radio that's not sanitized and not ridiculous.
The problem with the radio industry is it's going to take so long that shows like this one, look, we can. Who knows if we'll get more advertisers or not, but I know that we become a more enticing option for small businesses because it doesn't cost anywhere near as much to advertise on our show as it does to advertise on radio or TV. So it is, and now you're getting this many listeners. It's becoming a true option. And that's
I do miss some of the double and the entendres we had to do because we were on the radio. Like we had to say going to Australia and something about a cupcake. A cupcake was a thing for a long time, and icing on the cupcake and whatever. But to be able to talk about sex stuff like that, it's blatant what you're talking about. You're just not saying anything. But again, you can't say shit. You can't say he's an asshole. I mean, the rules are just way archaic. I mean, you can have sexually explicit discussion, but you can't say one of these 7 words when describing how bad a food tastes or how bad a car is or something. I mean, that's ridiculous.
I think that I think the radio industry is probably they would have been better off if they could have designated this. All this stuff might be years too late.
Yeah, like I said, because a lot of the cars in the last few years, it's easier to go on and play your and not just a podcast thing comes up. Your favorite podcasts, the ones you always listen to. Here's 3 new ones. Here's 3 new episodes of your favorite podcast right here. Boom, right on the front. And then radio is like 3 or 4 clicks away.
Yeah, I know is that people love they like podcasts. I'm just glad that our show's one of them. I'm glad that our show is one of the choices that you guys make. Like, for example, I hate Joe Rogan. I've never listened to a single episode of his show. I'm not a fan. Now,
It's hard to figure out. He seems to go with whatever the guest is saying. Like whatever kind of guest he has, then he is like somewhat of a reflection of them. It seems like
he's just not my cup of tea. However, I don't. If you guys like him, that's fine. That's up to you. But I don't like him. I would never ever listen to that. I think it just depends. But that's what I'm getting at is you don't have to. It's no set thing. Is you just have to listen to whatever programming I'm telling you to listen to, or anybody's telling you to listen to. You now have choice, and you can have varied taste that allow you to listen to anything. You can listen to crime broadcast, or you can listen to
and talk about unedited. If you listen to true crime stuff, it's not, comedy dirty, but you probably want that uncensored. If you're interested in like details about like murders and stuff, you probably want, you don't want some sanitized. We're going to try to talk about rape and murder and child abduction, but we're going to keep it G-rated for radio. That doesn't make any sense.
There's all kinds of different entertainment that's on the internet. And I say, and this is the only type I'm really good at. Like I hated doing talk radio. I really do. I hated it. There was nothing I found pleasurable about doing talk radio, except when I got going on something funny. The type of radio I like doing is this, where I'm just bullshitting with friends. That's what I like.
Yeah, because at this point, you're not going to change anybody's mind with a political rant or some sort of whatever,
Oh, by the
it's
way,
better just to talk about what kind of candy bar you don't like.
We do have somebody on hold.
Is there a candy bar
by the
you
way,
don't like?
Somebody has been holding. I'm sorry. Who's on the phone? You're on Morning
It's TJ. I've been holding very patiently.
TJ,
I was getting ready to say something right in the chat room. Wow, I've been on hold for 45 minutes just waiting while you guys are chatting.
TJ, you've been on hold for 45 fucking minutes.
Yes, I have.
I'm so
I have something to say about what Doran was talking about earlier.
I literally just looked up and I said, holy shit, somebody's on the phone. Dude, I am so sorry.
Oh man, no, I'm sitting here. I'm like, I called in when you guys were talking about Germany, and I'm going, man, I can talk about this, and I've just been waiting the whole time.
I'm so sorry. I apologize. Sorry.
And I was going to give the update. Like I heard the show, and people ask what's best for when you have to urinate while you're in the truck. Big gulp. Go with the big gulp.
That's right. I said that I wanted to get hold of you, either you or my brother, to talk about that very subject.
And there are actually women truck drivers out there now that have got the funnel, and they still use the big gulp.
Wow. How does a woman pee in a big gulp?
I didn't ask about the mechanics. I don't need to know.
Nikki, how would you pee in a big gulp?
Well, I mean, you're going down the road, you've got the big gulp or like an empty gallon jug of like water or something, and it's got the bigger hole. So you just kind of fit it in and let it fly while you're going down the road.
Did Nikki leave it? Yeah, Nikki at 9:30 said, I'm off. I need a breathing treatment. Talk to you tomorrow. So she left. Sorry, Nikki. I just saw the Facebook message.
Oh, but yeah, Rocky said it was 99 that Ramstein hit. I was actually stationed in Germany, not far from Ramstein Village.
Look at that.
So I remember
like that shit.
I remember actually seeing these guys in the late 80s in a couple of the local bars before they hit it real big.
Yeah.
How fun.
I saw Little Big Town before they hit it big.
Who's Little Big Town?
Yeah.
Some country group.
Yeah. Something Ray would never
I never see anybody before. I saw Fastball before they had their hit single.
Fastball had
I never saw anybody that blew up huge. Like I don't think so. That
but they had that one good song. The
Way?
Yeah. I like
Out
that
of my
song.
head, they had a couple.
I like The Way. All right. So TJ, you're calling to talk about Germany. About German.
Yeah, Germany, and then obviously bring up the peeing in the truck and give an update on what's going on. I mean, FedEx, like I'm working over at FedEx now. We've been so busy that when I get in, I've been working 6 days a week. I get in and I even pass out. So Thank God the show's available where I can listen to it when I first go into work. This has been the first time in like 3 months that I've been awake to actually catch it live.
Dude, I'm glad I haven't talked to you forever. I was thinking about you the other day.
Yeah, I mean, I did get that prime rib. It's in the freezer. I just got to get the time to smoke it now.
So you're working every day with, are you liking your job at FedEx?
Yeah, I do. It's definitely a change of pace. It's nice to sleep in my own bed every day.
Look at that.
Instead of every night, you know. But I get to get up in the afternoon and kind of be lazy before I go to work. It's great. The paycheck should be coming up to snuff here in the next couple of days. Thank God, get back up to where I was making the money. Hard on the girlfriend and I because we don't get as much time together as we'd like. But
you and your girlfriend have a weird situation. Like you both own houses in.
Well, she's renting, and now she's renting in Springfield. So she's actually closer when I'm at work.
But
and
you live out in BFE. I mean, you live
right.
You live on the other side of Decatur, right?
Right. Oh man, that reminds me. I got to get propane out here for the winter.
Oh, for God's sakes!
What an expensive bill.
So you and your girlfriend, you guys go when you're in town in Springfield. Will you stay at her house or?
A couple times a week I will, and it just depends on what shift she's on because she works out at the Reynolds factory in Jacksonville. So 1 month she's doing 12-hour nights, and then the next month she's doing 12-hour days. Well, obviously, if she's working days, there's no point in me going over there. And nights, I'll stay a couple of nights a week over there, and then she tries to take her weekends off because she gets every other weekend off, and she'll come out here. We both agree being out here, it's peaceful,
Well, there's peaceful or not, you're stuck out there because you own.
I own it, but it's also an asset. I can get rid of it whenever I want to.
That's true. Yeah, we'll see.
And I've got money out of it.
We'll see. By the way, Fat 420 says TJ's the new Sean Bolin. He just keeps on talking and talking and talking.
Yeah, I've been talking and talking and talking. 45 minutes.
He's been on hold for 45 minutes. I'm not going to bitch about him. I thank you for being on hold. TJ, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were on. I apologize.
That's all right. You answered the phone. I'm just sitting here listening to the show.
Dude, I'm so sorry. Anyway,
I keep forgetting how smart Rocky really is, and here he is.
I'm gonna have to call. I want to call back the people. There were several people that tried to call, but they couldn't get through because I had you on the phone and didn't even realize it.
Oh no.
Sorry, buddy. Listen, have a good day.
That's okay.
Congratulations. Later, buddy.
Thanks. You guys have a good show. Bye.
Wow. I can't believe you held for 45 minutes.
This is the kind of thing that talk radio is waiting for you to screw up with.
By the way, I am the last person that should be running his own controls. There's no way I should run my own controls. They should always be. Even now, I don't even know why the hell.
I think before I said something like after you've been doing something for 30 years, obviously you're going to be proficient at it. I guess that's only some cases.
I am bad. I really am. I apologize. But people were trying to call us. Like I see Rob from DTE tried calling us like a half an hour ago or 40 minutes ago. I'm just going to call and see if there's anything.
This is Rob.
Hey, Rob, it's Ray. How you doing, buddy?
It has been a morning.
We were trying to call you. I noticed you tried to call us 40 minutes ago.
Yes, I did. Responsive.
We had TJ was on with us the whole time. He was just sitting on hold for 45 minutes. So I thought I'd call you back and see if we missed. Was there anything important that you were trying to tell us?
Well, there was that movie you were talking about, that used cars movie.
Yeah.
And it made me laugh because how poetic, because I am now back in the used car market because somebody wiped out my daughter's car this morning.
What?
Oh yeah, hit it right, just solid, just right in front of my house. Just killed it, like loud enough that it shook my house.
Like her car was just sitting outside the house.
Yep. And he wiped it out, driving by. And apparently, and he tried to tell me this, he goes, yeah, I reached down to pick up my phone and I just barely touched your daughter's car. I said, barely? I said, you pushed the damn back wheel up underneath the front of the car.
Was this,
and he's like,
is this the older daughter that's in college or the one that's in high school?
No, this is the one in high school. The one that just got her driver's license 2 weeks ago and her car 3 weeks before that.
Oh.
Yeah, wiped it out, dude. Crashed. Total.
That's a terrible initiation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we were sitting there talking, and he was like, yeah. And the cop was sitting there. I was like, I'm no CSI investigator. I'm smarter than the average bear. I said, but unless he was moving 180 miles per hour, that's a really long, there was like an 85-foot long skid mark after the car.
Jeez.
And he goes, yeah, I don't think that's a skid mark. I said, I think that's hey, I'm going to see if I can get the hell out of here. But
So
his airbag
his-
went off and shut the fuel system off.
So his insurance company will be buying you a nice car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was like, what's the value of that car? And Lily's like, and she started talking. I was like, no, that's a $2,500 car. That's what it books for. And I said, I knew we're getting you something a little nicer.
Yeah,
you know?
I'll give you a name. I'll give you a name if you want one. I can
Yeah,
tell you, we bought.
please do.
I'll give you the guy's name who we bought my daughter's car from. And we got a good
Yeah.
deal on, her car. So.
Well, and that's what I told her. I said, with that, I'll roll you into my, personal finance credit loan, and Dad just won't work and, keep working until he's 73 by now. And I'll just buy you another car.
You'll work till death.
Well, that's what I'm saying right now. But in other news, my oldest son, my autistic son, moved out this weekend.
Really?
Got his own, got a nice apartment. He lives over in Pittsfield now because it's closer to his work. He got a nice $26 an hour job.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Is
and he's like,
is the pregnant girlfriend with him?
she ain't living with me.
Oh, she's
not the Lovicus is moving, buddy. I don't know. No, I try to like her. I do, Ray. I try. I just can't.
I mean, she's going to be the mother of your grandchild.
I get that, and I will respect her, and I help her. I took her to a doctor's appointment Friday. I'm nice to her, but yeah, she's something. He knows how to pick them, just like me.
You're a trip.
I know.
How
man.
long?
It's,
How long before they have that baby?
First week in November is when she's due, but I would bet anytime in the next 10 to 16 days.
Get ready for that. It's gonna be madness.
Well, Trenton was sitting there. He's like, Dad, he goes, do you think I'll be able to afford all this? I'm like, you literally make after taxes what I make.
Yeah,
you should be fine.
He'll be fine. Yeah.
Okay. So,
but
so we're doing okay.
Drop me a text on my personal line. I'll get you the connection for the car.
Yep. Everybody doing okay your way? Everybody all good? Nobody's got the COVID? Got the Trump COVID?
No COVID. We're all COVID free.
I mean, because if you get the COVID, let me know and I'll come up and pick you out around and we'll parade you around to your fans. It'll be great.
Well, that's how you get rid of it, from what I understand.
That's how you get rid of it.
You drive around and let people and wave at people.
Yeah, you'll just wave with your stupid ass mask on and we'll call it good. You're cured.
If I get COVID, I swear I'm gonna have a COVID parade.
Yeah, we
the best treatment socialized medicine can buy.
We could just throw, instead of candy, we'll just throw condoms and masks. There you go.
All right, buddy.
All right, buddy. Have a good day.
To you. There you go. You had to enjoy that, Rocky, huh? You had to enjoy the Trump COVID parade?
I was getting a drink. Oh. Yeah, not surprised.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's going to be touted as a hero because of all, look how strong he is, blah, 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 and make a full recovery. Wow, he kicked COVID's ass, and then there'll be all this strong, but not going to gain any new supporters, so I don't really get it. But
it's a whole Kim Jong-un or ill or whatever kind of message.
It's Michael Jackson after he got his hair burnt and the glove comes up. I remember the ambulance when the glove came out.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, but I mean,
and they admitted later on that whole glove thing. They wanted to make sure that the glove came out, and you could only see the glove. And
we know that we know you got COVID. I mean,
do we?
Well, we know. It's like you don't need to hide it anymore. I mean, it's okay if you're sick. Why? You don't need to.
I think there is a need. I think there's a psychological need to be adored.
You think that people who aren't going to vote for him are they now going to vote for him because he's got COVID?
Oh no, that's what I said. I don't really get it because he's not going to gain any voters. The plan needs to stay. Would stay. Make Biden people stay home. It should be nobody's going to vote for Trump because he's got COVID or because he's waving out a car window. I don't think he lost any supporters, but he didn't gain any.
If I'm Biden, there's no way I debate him again. I mean, the guy, he's got COVID now.
Well, that's far away, though. I mean, who knows what's going to happen between then and now?
Well, there's a debate next week. There's supposed to be a debate between the two of them next week.
And Trump's got that. They're doing some sort of.
They're doing the vice presidential debate tomorrow, I think, and then there's supposed to be 2 Trump versus Biden debates next week.
Well, with Trump, you always got to look for the money, and the thing with him is they're doing some kind of experimental drug on him.
Yeah,
and that will work miraculously, and then everybody's going to want that drug, which he'll be invested in. But that's why you've got people wondering now, does he even have COVID?
That's your plan. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think
that would be a conspiracy theory.
I think
I'll believe anything. I'm not going to dismiss. Oh, absolutely. Oh, come on now. Come on, you got to believe anything. Anything's possible.
100%, he's got it. There's no way. I mean,
okay, 100%.
Well, you could just go back and look at the clips of when they nominated that judge. All those people were there not wearing masks, running around. I'm surprised all those people don't have it. Looks like a lot of them are getting it, but good. That's where the president of Notre Dame and
I don't know the
Mike Lee and
the
Chris Christie
theory or conspiracy theory is that this is to sell this new cure or whatever it is.
Yeah, just.
But whatever. Kind of bored with it.
I mean, I just,
and the whole like blowback of, you've got certain people that are like, saying anything from completely outrageous to really nothing at all.
I didn't
about,
understand
Trump now, about him being in the hospital or whatever, how that's awesome or whatever. And then you've got the blowback of, oh, how can you say something so that's below the belt? Now, wait a minute.
I have
that
seen some of that
outrage. Yeah. Now, that's kind of funny to watch, but other than that,
seen some of
care,
that.
Whatever.
Yeah. But I mean,
that's what I always love. I always love seeing the Trump people, like, they keep having to change. They're like, 1 minute they're yeah, bully, fuck these people, yeah, tell her how it is. I like him because he tells her how it is. Don't give a fuck. And then the next minute, he demands your sympathy. How could you speak like that?
I don't understand.
It's like a DJ going from like the light rock station to the hard rock station.
it's like, I don't understand the whole desire to somehow claim he's superhuman. And look, he's in the hospital working. And meanwhile,
and we would laugh about that 5 years ago when they did the movies about Kim Jong-un and how people didn't think he actually took a shit. He was a super, and we would laugh at those people. Now we are those people.
Yeah. I'm just amazed by the fact that they took a picture of him signing blank pieces of paper. And look, he's working in the hospital. We don't give a shit. Of course he's not working in the hospital. He's fighting COVID.
Didn't lose one supporter. That's still the funniest thing. Didn't lose one supporter. In the signing fake papers, doing phony ass. You got a deadly disease running the country. Your first thought is, let me get a photo op.
There are people out there that are going, he's so strong. He's working while he's got COVID.
And that's what I said would happen. I called that. And by the way, I called 2 more things. Called them.
All right.
The Big Brother thing. I talked about it Friday. I said I was going to mention it again when we had more viewers. Right. The Big Brother thing happened just how I said it would. They got rid of all the minorities. Now it's just the white, the blonde women and the athletic guys, all white. That block is now they're going to have to start voting each other out, which now it gets interesting. It's not so predictable, but still happened just how I said it would. Number one. Number 2, the Proud Boys thing. That happened. Now gay guys everywhere are, posing the most loving, affectionate photos with their partners, like open mouth kisses is a lot of it.
And they're hashtagging Proud Boys. Yeah. You did predict that. Wow.
Yes.
I kept waiting to see you and Terry's wedding photos. with the Proud Boy hashtag.
Well, like I said, you want a big kissing photo.
Well, you guys send me your photos. I'll share them. I'll say, everyone, these are my favorite.
We don't
Proud
have
Boys.
kissing photos at our wedding. Is what I'm saying. At reception, we have he's holding a certificate, and I'm holding a bottle of Rolling Stones wine. That's not going to piss anybody off.
I would like to share some of those Proud Boys photos. Yeah, I did see that where some of the actual Proud Boys are getting really pissed. I saw on Reddit. I don't know if it was anywhere else, but I saw on Reddit where they were getting very angry. And somehow
why would you use the word? First of all, why would you use that pride? I mean, pride's been taken, and then boys.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the whole.
And then you go back and it's from like Peter Pan or something, or it's like, wow, guys, real tough. We're badasses.
All I saw was on Reddit, and I saw on Reddit that there were some actual Proud Boys that were getting very upset at the gay photos. But I don't know who started the Proud Boys, but I don't know enough about them. Actually, I probably know too much about them because I don't care anything about them. But I do know that they were getting upset at some of the gay stuff. So you guys stop that.
Yeah.
Stop sharing those gay photos and and referring to the gays as Proud Boys. It's America. We know who the Proud Boys are.
They're standing by.
Yeah. You're going to be laughing when we need them.
God, I remember growing up, operators were standing by. Now it's fucking white supremacy groups are standing by. I remember if you wanted to get all 3 records, operators were standing by.
They're gonna go break Trump out of the hospital and parade him around. By the way, did anybody else? The first thought of when I saw him parading around was, holy shit. Could you imagine being on that Secret Service detail and having them go to you and say, yeah, the president who's got COVID wants you to drive him around the block?
Right.
What?
I mean, can you imagine being the Secret Service? You've worked your whole life in this extreme training and mental training like no other profession. And this whole like thing, super serious, super what? And then you end up protecting Donald Trump. It's like, come on.
You end up getting sick because the president wanted to be driven around the block with COVID. That is insane. But I mean, I guess that's their job, right? I mean, I guess that's the job.
Yeah. You know, you're walking into almost assured violence when you, I've known, not directly, but known 2 secret people who've worked in the Secret Service. And yeah, they have the same exact stories, you know, the same, you know, training and all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, because you have to train so much that it's like a reflex. You don't even think about what you're doing. That's, you know, what I've heard is you train to like have almost like an instant reaction to jump in front of a bullet.
It is amazing.
Which is like not something a human brain is originally wired to do.
And I mean, I guess, do they still do the thing where if you have a family, like the guys with a family with wives and children, or you know, if you have a spouse and kids, you're not allowed to be the ones that watch a president or something?
I don't know.
Because I remember that was a thing in the past, but it was because they wanted to make sure there was nothing that would prevent
you wouldn't
them
jump in front
from
of
jumping in front
the
of
bull. You think about your wife and kids, yeah. Maybe not. I don't know.
I know if I was the president, I'd probably want to make sure that there would be nothing that would prevent someone from jumping in front of me before, you know what I mean? That's, I mean, trust me, Trump is happy that every one of those guys would jump in front of him, you know, and take a bullet. Anybody that's been president, they would be happy because of that.
Yeah.
I ain't taking no damn bullet.
Well, that's why, like I said, a couple of times, no balls involved when you've got an entire Secret Service surrounding you. And
But I'm just saying to go to the Secret Service and say,
by the way, I'm interested in, because you've got this crazy definition of balls.
Yeah.
Is driving around with the mask on it when you've got COVID, is that balls?
No.
Oh, okay.
Stupidity.
Okay.
Just because what I'm saying is,
you've called some things balls before that I questioned.
Here's my take on it. Here's my take on it. Well, you know how I feel about Trump, but it doesn't matter Trump or no matter who it is. You're going to these guys who are willing to jump in front of you to take a bullet. They care about their job that much. And you're super sick with this highly contagious disease. And so you're going to go to these guys who are willing to take a bullet for you, and you're going to go to them and say, I want you to drive me around the block, and I'm going to put my contagious ass right behind you, and all I'm going to wear is this mask. And yet you're going to be driving and all this stuff. But we're going to be in the car together.
I can see you saying, oh, wow, that takes some balls.
Yeah. No.
Okay, good.
No. Not at all. I think it's stupid. It's stupid if for no other reason, everybody knows about it. It's one thing. Listen.
Well, one thing about him is he likes to give his people what they want. And that's why he's he understands that pop star mentality. That's all he is. He's an entertainer, really. I mean, if we all get down to that's why people like him. You can scream about how he did all this with the economy. That's not. People like him because they need entertainment. They're entertained by him. But he's got that perfect understanding of that pop star. You give the people what they want. It's not, like I said, it's no different than when Michael Jackson got burnt on the scalp and he's going away in the ambulance and they had to kind of stage a little thing where his glove comes out and he waves to the, it's the same pop star type. You wave by, you don't get to see too much, just a little wave with the mask.
It's
too bad that somebody didn't start a take it off chant. Take off the mask, just to see if he would have taken it off.
I just don't get it. Because now everybody who was in that car, they've all got a quarantine, right? They can't just go about their day. They're going to have to test and be quarantined and all that stuff. So you basically put all of them at risk for COVID, which is insane. I don't know.
I think once you've worked under that administration for that long, insane kind of relativity really comes into play with things like insane.
All I think is, all I thought was that, oh my God.
I mean, if you knew he was going to do something like that, I knew he was going to do something like that. Half the people in the chat room knew he was going to do something like that. I'm sure the Secret Service and everybody that works with him, it's just another eye roll. It's just of course.
The Secret Service, like the second
we've already got the car warmed up. Of course, he wants to go out of the way.
The second he got COVID, all of his Secret Service people are probably going, "Oh shit,
get the car ready. We're going waving.
We're all gonna get sick."
We're going to do a once around, okay, there's the word. We're doing a once around.
I don't know.
Who didn't think that was going to happen? Anybody got once around COVID mask on their bingo card? I do.
Do you think, let me ask you, Rocky, do you think when the president's done with COVID, and I don't know what, I'm just thinking with my brother-in-law, it took about a month. It took about a month for him to not have it anymore. So I'm just going with that. And the other person I know that got it, they died. But they died within 3 weeks of getting it. So I just want to say, let's say
there are a lot of people who probably got it, don't even realize it, and it didn't really affect them that much. I mean, I know a lot of people, including myself, that thought that they might have had something way early on. I was feeling weird. I was feeling different, and then it went away. So that could have been it too. But that was way early. That was like March.
Well, I just wonder what your take is on after he has COVID. Is this going to change his mind to be more sympathetic and more empathetic of the people who are struggling or have died of it?
I think so.
Or is he?
I think Trump will become a more empathetic person and start,
or will he
really looking at life?
Or will he be
saying,
more?
What's
will he be more
important to
like?
me?
It's really not that bad. I had it and it was okay.
Yes, that's going to be the sell. Or I had it and took this drug, You need to take this drug too. Operators are standing by.
I had it.
Proud Boys
beat
are
it.
standing by for your order.
I had it and I beat it, so you can too.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a bigger badass. I'm kind of, the biggest badass on the planet because, what? But you might have a chance surviving it if you take it. It would be that kind of a play. But yeah, coming out as the hero that beat COVID and conquered COVID, you're going to have illustrations of him punching the COVID virus and shit like that. That's coming.
Do you think he's going to become more like start showing empathy and say, listen, this is bad. I know it's bad.
No, he is absolutely not going to show empathy. He is going to make $1 and a cent like he always does. And then he's going to go entertain the crowd like he always does.
Because
make that money, get them cheers.
Let's face it.
That's it.
He's not going to go against his base.
No.
And you think
that's all you really have to people are so shocked by the shit he does. It's like all you got to do is ask yourself, is it going to make him money? Is it going to get him cheers? That's it. It's not like this intricate mind to try to figure out. He wants to be a pop star.
I'll tell you, the one thing that it seemed to cheer him up. It seemed to cheer him up. It seemed to cheer him up, but there are these people standing outside the hospital applauding him. You know what I mean?
I love how he called them patriotic Americans with their Trump signs or Trump flags.
Yeah.
It's
plain born in the USA.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's actually pretty good. But I love how he equated being patriotic with having a Trump flag.
Yeah, I
did
hear that.
If you've got a Trump flag, that means you're patriotic.
Of course, that's what it means.
It means you're a nationalist. It doesn't mean you're patriotic. But people wouldn't know that.
Those are true patriots, and I had to go wave to them.
Yes.
I just wanted to get your take. I wanted to get your take on it. That's all.
They love being that America is the laughing stock of the world right now. That's true patriots.
Well, our president has COVID. God bless him. I certainly hope it gets better before it gets worse.
The hashtag that's going around that's people are just now getting pissed off because they've just now figured it out is hashtag stay positive, Mr. Trump. Give it a second.
Oh, I've already got it. Yeah. I've already caught on to that.
It's like that Jesus photo that went around a few years ago, but it was actually Charles Manson.
Yes.
And so people started sharing it like it was Jesus.
The one
do you have room for me in your home? It's like, no, I do not have room for Charles Manson in my house.
Where Jesus is, did you see the one where Jesus is giving the neck rub to Trump and it's actually Charles Manson?
Yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah, same thing.
Nick,
David Gilmour, Charles Manson. I think there's somebody else that looks a little Jesus-y too that they put in those.
What's your TikTok today? What are we doing, Nick? What's the new video?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
I think a shout out to whatever. I was gonna say shout out to me, but I forgot my TikTok name. I don't know what it is. I haven't. Now I'm too grotesque to do a TikTok video because my nose is so inflamed. I don't know if you guys are telling camera.
Well, do a W.C. Fields thing.
Yeah, I should do a W.C. Fields thing.
Against excessive drinking.
Chickadee.
Find a Mae West.
Yeah. Because my nose is a fiery red.
Sean Billent, Sandy. Sandy is Mae West. Ray is W.C. Fields.
Yeah, come and see me, chickadee.
And you can get that little kid in the background. He'd be, get that kid away from me.
Yeah, see?
I think there's always had to be these kids around. I don't think he said C. I think that's Edward G. Robinson.
Yeah, that was, yeah. Edward G. Robinson, see? Yeah, W.C. Fields was he was always a drunk and...
yeah, the drawn out words. He didn't say C, but just the ends were always, oh, yeah, wow.
Oh, yeah, chickadee. Whatever chickadee was. That was W.C. Fields. And then there was Fatty Arbuckle, who was a big fat guy who liked to...
Get out of here, kid. You're bothering me.
Like to rape young starlets or whatever it was. And he was... Fatty Arbuckle was into some no good.
With champagne bottles.
Yeah.
His whole thing was he liked to do people with or do women or girls with champagne bottles.
But he was perverted before he got famous. Usually people get famous and then they get perverted. But his career was just starting as some kind of comic actor, and he was doing all kinds of perverted stuff.
Yeah.
Fatty Arbuckle. Yeah, see? I don't know anything about Fatty Arbuckle other than the fact that he was.
I think he was silent. I don't think he.
He wasn't.
You heard
even,
him.
He wasn't even doing the talkies.
Yeah. No. I don't know.
I know that he was doing all kinds of perverted stuff. Hey, by the way, has anybody decided they want to take Rocky on the Toe of Satan challenge? Make sure to put on Facebook. Let people know to just get hold of us if you would like to take on Rocky in a Toe of Satan challenge, which is that super hot lollipop that is so many million whatevers.
9 million Scoville rating.
Yeah.
Usually things are in the tens of thousands, the hot things.
And we'll see who's going to take on Rocky. So send us a message and we'll send you the lollipop and you versus Rocky one morning. Yeah.
Sing on the good ship Lollipop. Yeah.
By the way, Being American says, could we get into more 1940s celebrities in the third hour? Shut up.
What we just saw about, yes, a good ship Lollipop, Shirley Temple, saddest movie I've ever seen, Bright Eyes. Not a funny movie, not a kid's movie, very, very tragic movie.
What year was
Parents
that?
dying left and right, and she's on the plane singing Good Ship. The reason she's singing on the Good Ship Lollipop in the back of the plane is because the pilot of the plane wants her to just go sing somewhere because he doesn't want to tell her while they're in the air that her mom just died.
Oh, good Lord.
So, yeah.
What a horrible story.
You got to be ready for Shirley Temple movies. Don't think they're sweet, innocent little kid movies. Anyway,
just let me know who wants to take on Rocky in the Toe of Satan. I was going to say the Tire of Satan. No, the Toe of Satan lollipop jump and the good ship Toe of Satan lollipop. Whoever wants to take him on, I want to do that one morning. Mini Stink disappeared. I think Mini Stink ordered it and got it and saw how hot it was and then said, fuck this.
That's why I wanted to send it to one of you two guys or to Jason. I wanted to send one. Not necessarily one to somebody do it, but just one to somebody on the show so they can open it up and be like, okay, this is serious. This isn't hot sauce up of Buffalo Wild Wings or something.
I'm going to put it on. I'm going to make it. I'll put it on my Twitter and I'm going to get somebody to take you on. Who wants to do it? Rocky versus who? I cannot wait to see this or to hear it or anything. So it'll be fun. All right, we should probably wrap it up. It's after 10 o'clock. Be sure to check TikTok, check NickTalk_78 to watch Nick's videos. And then come back here and watch more of us tomorrow with our Tuesday episode of The Morning Disaster. Thanks again to Recon Techs, Head West Substop, Hendricks Home Furnishings, Simply CBD, Core Installation, DTE Technologies, and Two Men in a Truck, our sponsors. Thank you so much, you guys. We will be back tomorrow for a new episode of Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your Monday. Bye-bye, everybody. Oh, the song's going to start in a second.
Better wake up, sleepyhead, get your fat butt out of bed. There's a man who got up at 4 a.m. just to play you Zeppelin and Pearl Jam. Raymond Lytle is his name. Some have called him just a bit insane. But you may find him a little idiotic. But his is the only morning show you can say has really got it. Slam the door, turn the key, get on the road now. With Central Illinois, morning way to get get down. It's nasty, it's dirty, but it's funny, 'cause it's the Raymond Lytle's morning disaster. He's lewd, he's rude, he's crude, but it doesn't matter, 'cause he's the morning master of rock and roll and laughter. Raymond Lytle's morning disaster. Sean Boleyn Scott, news and sports. Bodine's running down North Grand in his undershorts. Michelle will dwell on things colored pink and purple. They'll explain why Jim made a remake of that movie called The Black Hole. Slam the door, turn the key, get on the road now. The Central Illinois morning way to get down. It's nasty, it's dirty, but it's funny, 'cause it's the Raymond Lytle's morning disaster. He's lewd, he's rude, he's crude, but it doesn't matter, 'cause he's the morning master of rock and roll and laughter. Raymond Lytle's morning disaster.
Oh, yes. That wraps up today's show, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with another new show. That wraps up today. We'll start the audio replay of today's show literally in just a second. And then we'll come back tomorrow live at 8 o'clock for a new show. Bye-bye, everybody.
I think you do. I'm a gay.